Okay, so let's jump right in with a kind of radical idea. What if the biggest problem in your life wasn't actually a problem? What if that roadblock, that challenge you just can't seem to get past, is actually the path forward? That's the powerful, counterintuitive concept we're going to break down today. I mean, really think about that for a second. What if every single frustration, every roadblock, every unexpected issue, what if it wasn't a barrier at all, but a secret set of instructions? It's a wild thought, I know, but it can completely flip how you look at your own struggles. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You have a goal, you've got a plan, you're making good progress, and then, bam, you hit a wall. It's that universal feeling of being just completely and utterly stopped in your tracks. So, what do we usually do when we hit that wall? Well, our first reaction is often the very thing that keeps us stuck there. Our gut instinct is to see that obstacle as a giant, flashing red light. A full stop. The door's closed, the plan is over. It just feels so negative, so final, and honestly, it's completely demoralizing. But what if that instinct is just flat out wrong? Turns out there's an idea that's been around for about 2,000 years from an ancient philosophy that gives us a totally different way to look at this whole thing. And that philosophy is called Stoicism. Now, don't let the ancient part scare you off. At its heart, it's just a really practical guide for living a good life. A huge piece of that is learning how to deal with things we can't control, like those unexpected obstacles. And this is where you can really see that mental shift. On one side, you've got our usual reaction, right? Obstacle equals a dead end. It means frustration, it means failure. But with the Stoic perspective, that very same obstacle becomes a new path. It becomes an opportunity, a chance to learn something. The event is the same, but the way you see it, completely different. This whole mental flip is captured perfectly in one powerful phrase. And it's really the core of what we're talking about today. The obstacle is the way. And listen, this isn't some new age self-help slogan. This idea comes from one of the most powerful men in history, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. We're talking about a guy who dealt with war, plague, and betrayal pretty much every single day. And this is his brilliant insight. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Just let that sink in for a minute. The thing that's stopping you is actually the thing that helps you move forward. So here's the absolute key takeaway. The obstacle doesn't just get in your way. The Stoics would argue that when you accept it's there, it fundamentally changes your way forward. It becomes the new path, a path that literally didn't even exist a moment ago. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, first, every obstacle has these hidden instructions baked right into it. It's showing you what doesn't work, which forces you to get creative and find a new approach. You have to find a way around it, or over it, or straight through it. And the cool part is, the action you end up taking is perfectly designed for that specific challenge, and that's what creates your new path. Okay, so we get the theory. Now let's talk about your path forward. How can you actually use this idea when you're facing a real challenge, like right now? Because, understanding a philosophy is one thing, but actually applying it when you're frustrated and staring down a real problem, that's a whole different ballgame. So how do you do it? It really comes down to a three-step process. First, you just perceive it. You try to see the obstacle for what it is, objectively, without all the emotional baggage. What are just the facts here? Second, you act. You look for the opportunity hiding inside the problem. What action can you possibly take? What is this obstacle basically asking you to do? And third, you use your will. You have to make a conscious choice to take all that frustration and turn it into fuel to push you forward. And just to be super clear, this is not about pretending things aren't hard or just slapping a positive spin on everything. It's actually the opposite. It's about looking your challenges right in the face and figuring out how to use them to your advantage. So I'll leave you with this question. Think about that one thing that's blocking you right now, at work, in a relationship, whatever it is. What if you just stopped seeing it as a wall and started looking for the door? What obstacle in your life is just sitting there waiting for you to turn it into your way?